Hey everybody, hope you guys are all doing okay and welcome back to our Might and Magic VIII 100% run. Last episode was me returning to this series after quite a bit of a break, so we eased back into things, although we made some real progress as well. Notably, Elspeth is now promoted to Nosferatu. This episode, we are going to be making some more tangible progress in this game in the form of one of the main alliance quests. So let's actually, rather than our quest log, let's take a look at what the Seer has told us to do. Right now he is telling us to either pick between either the Clerics in Murmurwoods or the Necromancers in Shadowspire. It is our destiny, apparently, to undo the turmoil by choosing one of them as our allies. And as I've mentioned multiple times, there's no mystery, no suspense. I've said out loud that we will be picking the Clerics, so let's go ahead and do that. What I will do though is we're gonna have to actually go into Murmurwoods to pick up the quest from the Clerics. What I will do is I will also pick up the Necromancers version, like their rival quest, but I won't do that. I'll only do the Murmurwoods version, the one that I've picked. But I'll show you what the what we would have done if we were allying with the Necromancers, just to kind of give you a glimpse on what an alternate playthrough might have looked like. Is there any point to casting our spells? I guess there is, because we can teleport directly to Shadowspire from here, so makes sense for everything to already be cast. And already somebody's bothering us. One of these ranged enemies has gotten in range. Oh, did stuff just fall from the sky? Okay, that wisp is no longer among the living. We've blasted it out of existence. So let's go back to casting our spells. So what was I? So I did that. Now I need these two. We get that. Torchlight, not really needed yet. We'll cast it once we're about to enter the Necromancers Guild in Shadowspire. We've got Flight as well. Do we need invisibility? You know what? No, let's just run straight through. We don't really care about these guys. In fact, if we can kill a bunch of them along the way, that's a bit of extra experience. And why not get a bit of extra experience if it's just there on offer? What do you dancing light? That's not really gonna do much for us. We took a few hits, but not really anything that anybody needs to worry too much about. Now we are a couple more barrels. Green barrel, purple barrel. I need to carefully take my notebook out from a pile of other junk that I have. So, endurance, accuracy, and speed are the three challenges we haven't... Excuse me, I'm knocking stuff all over the place. Endurance, accuracy, and speed are the three challenges we haven't done yet. And I'm looking at Ithilgor's stats because he can only rely on stuff like this to help him. But we can see that he is already, just by virtue of us casting Day of the Gods, And now that we have finally that Amulet of Light Magic, what a huge get that was. We spent an entire episode grinding for this one item, but it is worth it. Because it means, basically, we don't need to worry about challenges, even on Ithilgor, because worst case scenario, he'll need like an extra 5 stats, like an extra 9 speed, an extra intellect we've already done, accuracy, you're beating it handily, and endurance, you're already beating it. So we have this ring of speed, right? And then, bam, that gives you speed as well. So, long story short, it means we don't need to worry. Oh, yeah. Look at everybody else, just absolute beasts in terms of their stats. So I'm just gonna give... you know what, I will give Ithilgor... I guess I gave him endurance as well, but I was gonna give him speed, because he is eventually gonna be our highest damage dealer. So, you know, it'd be nice to have him getting a bit faster. Although the breakpoints, like in terms of how much more of a stat you need before you get the next bonus, gets pretty steep. I don't have the chart in front of me, but I believe at a certain point you need like 250 or like some crazy, like hundreds of stat points before you get the next bonus. All right, let's not get too carried away exploring Murmur Woods just yet, because we came here with one purpose in mind, which is we need to get the quest from the people inside the Temple of the Sun. And even though these are all friendlies, because we've entered it for the first time, somebody's gonna say something that's just scripted to happen every time you enter a dungeon for the first time. And this is a temple, but the game treats it as any other dungeon or like cave or other you know, location with an indoor environment. And where the hell am I going? Is there a secret door here? That makes no sense. Maybe it's not supposed to be a secret. Look at that, will take us outside. This, okay, this is the leader's room. What I'm gonna do though, I'm gonna save my game just because, like I mentioned, I took that big break just to be extra cautious. I'm gonna talk to the seer again. I highly doubt he'll have anything new. We haven't triggered anything main quest wise since he last told us that we needed to resolve the dispute between the Clerics and the Necromancers, just to be on the safe side. He's giving us the same thing. By the way, if you click on this other option, I lost it, he will...
There's no room in the pack.
He will give you... he will give you quest items that you've that you may have lost somehow. Like I mentioned, you know, when we were doing the sarcophagus of Corbu quest, that you might not be able to carry it if your people's inventories are too full. So you might leave it in a chest, and what happens if that chest gets like reset because you left the area too long and then you lost the quest item? Well, I believe it will spawn in its original location when that location resets, but if you want to get it a bit quicker, you can go back to the seer and cycle through that until he gives you the quest item that you're looking for. But as we saw, there's a bit of an issue with that, in that it doesn't... like, even quests we've already completed, he'll still give us the quest items for those quests. So you might be sifting through a few before he gives you the one that you're looking for. Although fortunately, I don't think he can give you quest items for quests you haven't picked up yet, because that would be bad for multiple reasons. Okay, anyway, that was a pointless aside, but I just figured might as well. It's something I haven't showed off. So yeah, that's how you recover lost quest items. Now, let's go into the Sun Temple Leader room. And he has only one dialogue option for us, Mr. Oscar. Wow, I'm struggling to say that. Mr. Oscar Tyre. His only dialogue option is for this alliance. And Bastian Ludrin. That name sounds familiar. I think, wasn't he the middleman when we were rescuing Blackthorn or something, the guy who gave us the scrolls or something? Anyway, that's not important. What is important is to ask him what we need to do. Okay. He is also concerned by the elemental unrest, but his temple has other matters pressing because they are at war with the Necromancers. The sick horror that is the Necromancers Guild must be blighted from the, that is very harsh. They wage holy war on the evil in Shadowspire. I mean, I'm a little bit uneasy with this. I don't like the concept of holy war. But I mean, the Necromancers aren't great either. I'm picking these just because, you know, role-playing wise it fits. But I really don't like the idea of religious zealotry. I think that's a word, or you know, fanaticism, you know, fundamentalism, I guess. But you know, we'll pick up his quest, and before we wipe the Necromancers out, we'll pick up their version of the quest, and we'll see who's actually worse. Although we will be doing the Clerics version, so, you know, that's already set. Alright, so let's pick up his quest. So what exactly does he want us to do? Inside the Necromancers Guild is a device known as the Skeleton Transformer, which converts living creatures into skeletons, which the Dark Mages use for their reinforcements. They have an agent, Dyson Leland, in the guild, and he apparently is going to help us destroy the skeleton. Okay, so now that actually does sound pretty bad. Transforming living people into skeletons. Unless they're all going willingly, like they're all... Hang on, let me just adjust my mic a little. Unless they're all going there willingly, which I doubt. Maybe like a few people are gonna be like suicidal, because you're killing yourself, and then your remains are being reanimated. You're basically dying, and then your body is being turned into this skeletal automaton. So if these guys are doing that to people, it doesn't say that, but if they're doing it to people against their will, that is actually pretty bad. So as much as I don't like, you know, the connotations of holy war and all that, you know, I guess it is overall more the lesser of two evils, picking these guys over the Necromancers. Alright, now what do we want to do? Let's just go directly to the Shadowspire. This is the temple, right? And let's get some healing.
We're here anytime.
And let's go to the Necromancers Guild. No reason to beat about the bush. Now, they're not going to be hostile in there just yet. I guess I'll wait until I get inside before I start talking about what's gonna happen in there. Why are you losing spell points? Didn't we heal everyone? Do you have some spell cast? Is something draining your mana? Bizarre. Anyway, let's go inside. And
Investigate.
right now, people are not hostile. Okay.
It won't open.
This area is off limits. Only guild members can go there. Alright. Before we start
It won't open.
going into off limits areas, let's just walk around to the places that we are allowed to go. And oh, there's going down here. Let's cast Torchlight. And this elevator either has a very transparent, like a very clean glass floor that doesn't even reflect light, or it's just a force field holding us up, or the developers forgot to put a floor in this elevator. But either way, this elevator is going to take us up quite slowly to the throne room. Okay. Let's save in a different slot. And Sandra and Thant are both here. And some interesting dialogue options. We can talk about Dyson Leland, who the temple sent to infiltrate. But apparently these guys were onto him the entire time and turned him into a double agent. Like, although Sandro still doesn't trust him, but like, so that's a weird situation. We'll talk to Leland soon enough. Such foolishness, thinking they could easily deceive a host of dark magicians. What do you have to say? Well, on the Nightshade Brazier. Yeah, okay, he doesn't have a quest for us. He's just giving us some flavor text for the quest that Sandro's about to give us. I do believe Bastion Ludren. Okay, so I guess he's a neutral. Like, he's reached out to both the Necromancers Guild and the Clerics. I thought he was with the Clerics, but I guess he's just an intermediary and nothing more. And yes, Sandro says something similar to what the Temple of the Sun's leader says. They can't join us because they're at war. And most of our members are away in the fields, either leading armies or raising zombies to serve them. Alright, let's see what his quest is. If we had the Nightshade Brazier back in our possession, we would annihilate them. We could bring the war to the doors of the Sun Temple. So the Clerics keep it in the Sun Temple. Dyson Leland believes he can gain access. Bring him there. Okay. And now Thant's bit of flavor text makes a bit more sense. What exactly does this Nightshade Brazier do? When its fires are properly tended, the accursed sun is incapable of shining in its area of influence. I feel like that would be really bad for the ecosystem, wouldn't it? If suddenly, like, there's just no more daytime in an area? I don't know. I feel like these guys aren't really considering the long-term environmental impact of what they're doing. I do like the sun annoys me, I'll be the first to admit, but this is a bit extreme, I think. And I presume that, among other reasons, is why the Temple of the Sun took this thing away from them. So these are our two competing quests. Either find the skeleton transformer in the Necromancers Guild and destroy it and go back to Oscar, or to instead go into the Sun Temple, retrieve the Nightshade Brazier, and bring it back to the Necromancers, and maybe later on we'll see what the Nightshade Brazier looks like. But for now, we're just gonna do it the way I've been saying.
Hello.
Out of my way, cretin. Oh, these guys are pretty rude. And they're and he's saying out of our way, but they're getting in my way. Like, that's even more rude.
Good day to you.
Yeah, out of my way. Like, why don't you get out of my way? Okay. Okay, let's go here. I think this is where we find Dyson Leland. I mean, it's the other room on the other side. So, oh, excuse me. If there's no Dyson Leland to be found here. This is Dyson Leland's room. Okay, that is good. That is good. Okay, I'll save in another slot. Alright. So, let's see, before we recruit him, let's see what his deal is. Apparently he's trying to play both sides and doing a poor job of it because he's so easy to see through. How can anyone's quest for power bring him to participate in the horrors of the Dark Path? And yet there's a whole house of them. These magicians of death are an abomination, a loathsome corruption incarnate. So he hates the Necromancers. But through his own fear, will call them his master. All right, good for you. Here's what he has to say about the Sun Temple. When he was young, all he wanted to do was to join the light. What a fool I was. If there's goodness in the world, he's not seen it. None in the hall of the Sun Temple, hiding behind the righteousness of sanctity. They perform the worst crimes of greed and self-indulgence. If it were not so horrid, it would pass for something like irony. Well, I mean, I kind of agree with him there. I'm not a big fan of organized religion myself, or religion of any kind, really. Let's ask him about himself. Okay, he was sent by the Sun Temple on this infiltration mission, as we've already heard. I was unmasked as a spy. So, okay, so he knows he's been found out. Okay. Under threat of death, he now follows their orders. And I think we need him in our party for the rest of this quest. One other thing I should point out. Let's look through. We've picked up the quest to recover the shield Eclipse, which is in the Necromancers Guild. One thing I'm gonna do is, I'm not going to look at it too closely right now, but I'm gonna pull up the map for the Necromancers Guild. Just to make sure I'm not missing anything. Okay. Okay, just gonna... Just making sure. Alright. Got it. Now, I think it's time to do things... It's time to do things right. So,
Good day to you.
talk to Sandro.
The door is locked. The door is locked.
The door is locked. Okay. So save there. So if we kill them, can we then open the doors?
It won't open.
Kill members?
It's locked.
What? Alright, maybe I'm misunderstanding. Let me quickly see. So, it says the doors are supposed to open after Sandro joins the party, but sorry, after Leland, Dyson Leland joins the party.
It's locked.
But I guess they're talking about specifically only these doors? Alright. We'll see about that.
It's locked.
It's like somewhere here is the out of my way, man. Okay, it might be in here. Might be in here. Nope, this is just a... God, out of my way, dude. This is just... nothing interesting there. What about this side? I mean, there are alchemy ingredients, pretty useless ones. Alright. God, and these guys are just constantly in my way. Oh, I think, oh, this might be it. It's secret door. Alright. Ah. Fancy. Alright. But then there's nothing inside? What? What? Okay, I'm gonna have to look up the walkthrough to see where exactly is Eclipse. So Eclipse is in this room. Were we ever inside that room? Don't think we were. Oh, excuse me, out of my way. Alright. So I think it's telling us to go into this room. I think this room is the one with Eclipse in it.
It's locked.
But then when we click on it, it says
It's locked.
Guild members only. Is there some sort of item that we need equipped? Like the Temple of Ba cloak from Might and Magic VI? Like, is that the problem? This is all...
We can't open it.
Because even if we make them hostile. Oh. And then we try and interact with the door. It's still
The door is locked.
telling us guild members only. So I'm, like, I haven't played this in a while. I'm hoping I haven't accidentally ruined something. Alright. I mean, here I'm actually just gonna look this up. So Might and Magic VIII Eclipse. Recover the Shield Eclipse. Let's look at the walkthrough for this quest. On the second floor in a trap chest behind one of 4 guarded doors. Be aware that if you enter one of the guarded rooms, you'll be considered hostile. They will tell you the rooms are off limits when you first try to enter. Alright. So let's try this again.
It's locked. It's locked.
We can't open it.
When you...
We can't open it.
So...
The door is locked. It's locked. The door is locked. The door is locked. The door is locked.
So...
The door is
I
locked.
think the
It's
way
locked.
it's supposed to work is that
The door is locked.
you click on it once, they say it's off limits, then if you click on it again, the door opens and they become hostile. I feel like that's the way it's supposed to work. Maybe if we leave and come back inside?
It's locked. The door is locked.
That
It's locked.
is really
It's
weird.
locked.
Hang on. Something... Like, I just need to look this up before I complete, you know, the main quest. Right. Magic 8. Eclipse. Oh. Her room. Door. Locked? I don't know, I'm just gonna search. Okay. So... find Eclipse. Okay. Apparently these doors
The door is locked. The door is locked.
are bugged and just won't open, and you need to force the area to turn hostile rather than individually attacking the enemies and turning them hostile before those doors open. Okay. I'm glad we've potentially gotten that settled. That is a weird way to do it. Oh, these are off limits. Now we've
I got it!
made... You know what? I'm just gonna let Leland be unconscious, because maybe that way he won't get too much experience, and like I don't want him sucking up experience that I'd rather have on my actual useful party members. So now that that's happened, let's see if maybe now, if we go back, the doors are gonna be open. We've got skeletons as well.
That was easy.
Alright, and now this is the way to the main part of the guild. Right, is anybody else right here? I just need to take you out. Or now, let's save in a new slot. Now the doors will open. Alright. Save in that slot again.
I have no idea.
There we go.
Leave it.
Eclipse. He says leave it because technically it has a value of 0 because it's a quest item.
Leave it. Leave it.
But you definitely should not leave it. Because it's a... Like, not only is it a quest item, but it's a pretty good shield in its own right. We'll have, you know what, I'll just give it... I'll just give it directly to you, and finally we can get rid of this garbage trollish shield that we've been lugging around since who knows how long. Alright. And now we can just, go... Like, I don't even
have no idea what that
I don't even want to pick up any gold. I don't... So I'm gonna not pick up gold. But I am going to, just... Oh, excuse me. I said I am just going to go up and down all the stairs on both sides, just to make sure I'm killing everyone. Who's attacking? Anyway, now that we've gotten that weirdly glitchy door situation dealt with, let's kill these dudes. Lugging around the unconscious Dyson Leland with us, as one does. Alright. Let's go room by room, taking down everybody that we see. Whoa. That Master Necromancer did a lot of damage to us very quickly. So let's be careful when fighting enemies like those. Alright. Alright, now let's go inside this room. And once again, Elspeth, despite the promotion, has taken quite a bit of damage. Although, without the promotion, she'd be even closer to death, so I guess promoting her was a good one. Are people being spawned in every time we walk through, or did we just leave one guy alive. I guess we just left one guy alive. But now there's gonna be a few people. Oh! On this side, take them down. Where is that guy? Okay, where are you? There you are. And I think... Whoa, 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 whoa. Easy, easy.
It is down.
Got him.
Yeah, there are people in these rooms as well. You know what? Why not? I don't really need money. What is this?
Leave it.
Starburst.
Worthless.
Pretty good. Ring of Speed.
Leave it.
But I think we're beyond the point where we need those, and we already have a better one. Yeah. Like, we can stack up more speed, but we're not gonna need it. We're not gonna need it. There are gonna be people inside this room.
We got it.
Alright. Gold. Ooh, could be some
Worthless.
personality. Don't really
Leave it. Leave it.
care about
Leave
those.
it. Worthless.
Town portal. Like, could be useful to hold on to in case, I don't know, like if Sorry goes down or something.
Leave it.
But I don't really think
Leave it.
it's gonna be needed.
Worthless.
Ice Bolt.
Leave it.
Nah, okay. Now the tricky part is going to be figuring out where exactly there are any enemies left. Don't think there... Oh, I'm such an idiot. I let haste expire, and now everybody was weak, but we fixed it quickly enough. I don't think there are enemies on the top floors. I think there are just rooms, like Leland's room and the leader's room on the other side. So now I think the only enemies are in this part of the map.
I got it.
We do not have a clear green light just yet. We do not have the all clear just yet.
We should rest elsewhere.
And yep, we're being told that there are enemies pretty close to us.
We must find a better place. We must find a better place.
So, Where? Oh, where could the enemies be? We do intend to fully clear out this zone. Was there a room that we simply walked by without opening? This room dealt with. This room dealt with. And then you go down. And you go down. And then you go up the lift. We'll just check. Just to be completely sure. And while we're going up, we'll do some healing. And we're surely coming close to the top. And all we have at the top is the room. And nothing else. Okay. So the enemies are somewhere else. Let's examine the map to see if maybe we can find some clues. Maybe there are more enemies on the upper side. So you know what? Let's go take those out. And then if there are any left, we can come back to the main part of the guild and do some hunting around. Okay, so that goes up. No secret doors as far as I can see. And let's quickly duck in on this side. I think we've got... Oh, we haven't... Oh.
Got him.
Okay. I feel a bit silly. We just simply hadn't opened one of these doors, and I was so startled to find enemies that I dropped my notebook. I'm just gonna put it aside. And what we have...
Worthless. Worthless.
Yeah,
Leave it.
that's a bunch of garbage. Preservation is a spell that we should get at some point. We'll get all the spells, but... now...
Worthless.
don't really...
Worthless.
didn't really want to pick up gold, but I guess I did.
Worthless. Worthless. Worthless.
I don't know why I'm even bothering to identify items that I know aren't gonna be useful. Alright, so we know the main part of the guild is now clear. So now the only enemies remain in this part of the guild, where we have quest progress as well to make. Okay. Oh, easy. We don't want to take any heavy damage if there are any master necromancers in here. Oh, you know what? This is a prime opportunity to get some noble bone bow action going on, although... Oh, whoa, whoa. Oh, ooh, we're taking more damage than I would care for, so let's just reposition. Alright. Okay, that's the downside of using the noble bone bow.
That one was weak.
That went a little bit better.
Weak.
That went a little bit better. Okay. Now I think we can switch away.
That one was weak. That one was weak.
Okay, being a bit quiet just because I'm concentrating.
That was easy. That was easy.
Okay, I think we're basically done. One enemy left. One enemy left, and I think the entire guild has been cleared. Alright, so to end this quest, I think... what does that button do? Okay. We need to do these one at a time, I guess. That button doesn't do anything. Now we've seal the door.
We can't open it. It's locked.
Okay, that... Okay, that's... Alright, now... I think we just have to walk inside, and I think that's gonna end the quest. Let's find out. No, there's one more. Should be a lever somewhere, right?
We can't open it. It's locked.
No? How do we... Or does he have to be awake? I guess he had to be awake.
But you will be the last. This blasphemy will be ended. Now, for our escape.
Okay, that was a pretty dramatic cutscene. And we've finished this quest, I'm pretty sure. I don't know if we had to go through all that situation with the shutting the door and everything. But we did it, so we might as well. And you know what? We're just gonna dismiss Dyson, because we don't really need him in our party anymore. Do you have anything interesting? Pearl ring, garbage boots. Yeah, you don't really have anything, so... thanks for your help, Dyson, but we are done. What I'm gonna do is... There's no reason casting our spells, because when we go to Alvar and do the overland transition to Murmurwoods, we'll lose everything, all our buffs that we had cast. So let's just... Instead of town portaling straight to Alvar, let's walk around a little bit, making sure... We've killed everyone, and I can tell that there's nobody left. Just because we've been just about everywhere where enemies could have been, and the light remained green throughout. Okay, now it is time to hand in this quest. So for that, let's go to Alvar, as I said. Let's fly to the west, and let's go ahead and go ahead and get this done. I really hope we didn't need to keep Dyson in our party, but it's too late now. If we really need to bring him back, we can, if we really need to bring him back, we can always get him from the Adventurers Guild and then come back. But hopefully that is not going to be necessary. So there's a couple important things we'll have to do after we hand him the quest, but before I get to those, let's actually hand in the quest. Alright. Temple of the Sun. The leader room. And the quest has been completed. Excellent work. With the transformer destroyed, he's confident that they'll cleanse Shadowspire of evil, and the Temple of the Sun is now our ally. That's great. So now I mentioned there are a couple important things we need to do after completing the quest. The first thing that we're going to do is we're going to go to Ravenshore. We're going to go fly straight to the Seer and pick up his next note. And his next note, I assume, is going... be... Hang on a second. I just had a... Let me make a... another save. I'll save this in the just in case save slot. Because what I want to do is I want to load the game from before we completed this quest, and now I want to go to the seer and see if he has anything new to do. I don't think he will have an intermediate line of dialogue, but I just wanted to check one thing, and I'll explain my reasoning once we talk to him. Because right now we've picked up the next stage of the quests from both the Clerics and the Necromancers, but we haven't actually completed them. I want to see if maybe he has something to say about that. No, he's still only giving us undo the turmoil by choosing one of these two to ally with. Now I'm gonna load the just in case save, which is after having completed that quest. The temple are our allies, as it says in the quest log. Now we'll go to the seer and get his next note. This one should be about the dragons and the dragon hunters. So, yep, between the dragons and the dragon knights in Gorot Gorge, it is your destiny to ally with one of the two at the expense of the other. Okay. Very, very good. That was one important thing that we had to do. The other important thing we have to do is we need to go to Shadowspire. I need to check one thing. Okay. This is actually really good, because this means that the people in the town of Shadowspire are still going to be neutral to us. They're going to be friendly to us, even though we allied against the Necromancers. The reason this is important is because when I've completed the quest and taken the other side, taken the Necromancer side, then the civilians in Murmur Woods become hostile. Or like all the people in Murmur Woods become hostile to you. And that's mildly annoying, but not really that much of an issue, because Murmur Woods isn't really a hub area. But Shadowspire is nice to have this as a permanently friendly area, because they've got a, you know, high-level training school. You know, the alchemist can sometimes have useful things. You can grind for, you know, specific potions that give you boosts. And also, there are a lot of quests that involve coming here. NPCs as well to pick up. And it's annoying when it's hostile, because while this is a town portal destination, you won't then be able to town portal away with hostiles close to you with only master level town portal. So I'm really, really glad that these guys are fine, and it means like we don't have to, you know, swap out Shadowspire for Balthazar Lair, at least not just yet. The last thing we're gonna do in this episode is actually, you know what, let's just keep things simple. The last thing we're gonna do in this episode is ooh, I was gonna say we're gonna get people trained up, but like you've got like 10 levels to gain. You've got another 4 to gain. You've got another 4 to gain. So what I'll do is right now will only level up myself.
We can train you. Very good.
And I will put 1 more point into Light Magic Mastery. So close to being done. I'll stop putting points into this once we hit 30. Okay. Now that is done, and I think that is gonna be all for this episode. Yeah, let me just make sure I'm not forgetting anything. Yeah, no, I think we're good. I think we're fine. Yeah, so that is gonna be all for this episode. Sorry, it got a bit awkward and unwieldy in parts, especially when I wasn't sure about how to get the doors to open.
I can't repair it.
Shit, who broke that? When did that break? I was like, this bow isn't supposed to be red. Okay, hang on. Before I start, you know, doing the episode debrief, let's just get this. Let's just get this fixed.
I'm sorry, I can't help.
Oof, that is expensive. But we have literally nothing else. I mean, like,
I
nothing...
have no room left.
No big ticket items to spend our money on, so might as well pay for the repairs. But yes, okay. When did that break? Like, who broke that and how? I am curious. Anyway, let's not dwell on that. What I was gonna say was the episode was a success despite us having wasted a bit of time wandering around the Necromancers Guild trying to figure out how to get the doors to open. Really, the way it should work is that you click on the door once, the guard warns you. If you click on the door again, the game should interpret that as you ignoring the warning and opening the door, and that should be a second trigger to turn everything hostile. But instead, it doesn't work that way. You've got to do the very awkward thing of getting Leland in your party and then going to the basement to turn the entire place hostile, and then you can come back to open the doors, which is a very roundabout way of doing it, but we got it done in the end, and we got the shield eclipse. Oh, one thing I should mention, you've probably noticed this, and maybe you thought I'd just forgotten, but we have a quest to take the shield eclipse back to Lathius and Ravenshore. I have not forgotten that. I'm holding on to that, and you may be asking, well, why are you doing that? I'm going to wait until we have our final party member, Leanne Stormlands, in our party so that she can also get experience when we turn that quest in. Really, what I should have done was that before I got to the point where we got to this, you know, these alliance quests, I should have already rescued Blazon and gotten her in my party, because she would have been gaining experience the entire time. So that was a bit of a misplay on my part, and I don't and I didn't want to go and excuse me, and I didn't want to go and talk to the leaders of the dragons and the dragon hunters, because I didn't want to trigger that part of the quest early, because I wanted to get all of the seer dialogue in the order that he gives it. I didn't want to accidentally miss something. Anyway, that long story short, if I had played the game a bit better, she would already be in our party and she would have been gaining experience from the quests we've been turning in, but you know, that's okay. There are other ways to gain her experience. But that is actually going to be something that we take care of in the next episode. Because I think in the next episode, rather than advancing the main quest, what we're going to do is we will, we've picked up the quest, right? To rescue Blazon, yeah, to find Blazon Stormlands and recover Ebonest. We'll do this quest, and then we'll be able to recruit Leanne Stormlands. Anyway, that's a very kind of awkward set of things that I said at the end. It might seem a bit confusing to you, but the important thing is that I do have a plan, and I am going to stick to it, and we are on track to get everything done. The only thing that kind of takes the shine off a little bit is we could have already had our final permanent party member gaining a bit of experience. And you know what? That's okay. That was never one of the objectives, like having people gain the maximum possible amount of experience. So let's not even worry about that. Let's not make ourselves feel bad about something that we were never under any obligation to do. Okay? So yes. I don't know if I'm talking to you or if I'm talking to myself. I'm talking to myself, right? Because I know I'll be kicking myself for not having picked up. You know what? Let's actually drop it. Let's not talk about it anymore. Let's focus on the good stuff. We got this main quest done, and we are making really good progress in this game. So let's just leave it at that, and it's time for me to say thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode, despite, you know, the odd glitchy doors in the Necromancers Guild, and despite me spending what seems like an eternity rambling at the end, mainly being angry at myself and, you know, berating myself for not doing things in an optimal manner. But despite all that, I hope you had a good time. I hope you're enjoying yourself, and if you are, you know, do consider leaving a like on this video, and if you're enjoying the series, do consider subscribing as well. But in either case, I'm glad you are, you know, I'm glad you're here, and I hope you'll stick around for the next episodes as well. So until then, take care.